What's up, guys? I have no official way to start this video, but the thing that I've been working on today, went to Westbrook's Coffee in Clarksville, and I made a plan to get out the house this morning after dropping Ray off so that I can have some thinking time to kind of work on some more ideas for some of the micro short films that I'm working on. If you haven't been caught up to date, one of my challenges for 2025 is to create 12 micro shorts. I've filmed and edited 3 so far. I have 2 in store, but those are probably going to be for maybe April and May, possibly May and June. So I wanted to have something else to kind of work on that I can release in March. So I wanted to share a little bit of the process that I was going through while I was at the coffee shop trying to essentially ideate. There is this book, very interesting book called Mind Power by, I forgot the author, but one of the things that he talked about that I really grasped onto was the idea of sort of incubating. He talked about when you're trying to get creative, work on a creative project, it's good to spend time absorbing inspiration. That may be reading a lot of books, that may be watching a lot of films, looking at different forms of art, some kind of means of absorbing information that you can kind of chew on, you kind of sit with for a while. So previously I'd been looking on YouTube, looking at other micro shorts. That's actually how I started this project, got inspired by somebody else. And why that's helpful for me, because I don't have to rely on my own wit or wisdom to create something, because in the Bible it says that iron sharpens iron. In this context, creativity begets creativity. So watching somebody else's film, seeing either how they light the scene, the kind of story that they're telling, different things like that, may spark inspiration for you to think, okay, how would I tell a similar story? Or how can I take the things that I liked about this film and incorporate it into my next story? And there's actually a short film that I watched that gave me sort of the idea of, so I was writing stuff down on my Remarkable, and one of the film ideas that I had, I was kind of just working with, was actually based on a film that I watched previously. And that's the wonderful thing about I guess just art in general. They always say that a great artist steals, and that's really because creativity inspires creativity, which inspires more creativity. Another aspect to my creative process, particularly within this series of films, I try to focus on achieving one particular goal. Sometimes I'll base the film around a theme, whether that be a particular story or an emotion I'm wanting to portray. But for the most part, since these micro shorts are pretty low stakes, they're not like intense films, they're not large scale projects, I can kind of be a little more lax on the story. And what I like to be able to do, especially for some of the films moving forward, is either utilize an environment to my advantage or focus on a particular technical challenge. So in the Fear of the Unknown film, the theme or the focal point that I had was actually the environment. I specifically wanted to shoot in the snow, and I just found the story afterwards, kind of justified the story by way of the environment. And then the other two films that I have in place have to do with us moving, so that's also going to be based on the environment, moving out of our home that we'll actually have access to for another 2 months after we've already moved out. So I'll have an empty space to work with. And then for these two films I was working on today, one of them is kind of silly. It has to do with this like styrofoam mannequin. It's be very simple, kind of like a music video. So yeah, what like, think about one particular thing that you can focus on and kind of base or justify everything else around that. And for me, because I am very technical when it comes to lighting and camera work and things like that, I do like to challenge myself and figure out how can I base this film around different lighting techniques and things like that. So now that I have an idea of what I want to do with the next couple of films, I'm going to spend some time incubating, absorbing some inspiration, getting a mood board together, and that way I can kind of get a better visual or better understanding of how I might want to approach those films, so I can get a better pre-production process and execute a little better. And one other update, so I had the short films posting on this channel, but as I'm sort of navigating how I want each of my platforms to appear, I want this channel to specifically be just the vlogging and the behind the scenes content. So I have a business channel where I put my commercial work at, and I'm going to start putting the short films there. So I'll make sure as I'm sort of working through the behind the scenes on this channel, that I'll have links to get you to the short film when it releases on that channel. I also have that channel in the description below, so you can make sure you subscribe to that channel just to see when those short films upload. All right, to make a hard pivot in this video, which I'm currently editing, this is me from the future, from the initial edit. I wanted to go ahead and mention that the next micro short film, which I called Manikin, very simply put, has already posted to the Fearless Lion Media channel. So that is up as of today, March 10, as of 12 p.m. Central Time. So the rest of this video, I'm actually going to finally show the behind the scenes of that video project. I filmed the whole thing at like midnight, so you're gonna see me looking very exhausted and very tired. If you want to see the video, you want to see the film before the behind the scenes, I'll go ahead and leave the link to the film in the description. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of this video, and also have the link to the film at the end as well. It is 1 in the morning, and I've run out of like the mental capacity to shoot anything else. Been working on this Manikin short film. Oh, my camera's still on. been working on this short film for the last, I don't know, like hour and a half, something like that. And it's really not the mannequin itself. You can't even see it. There it is. So it's not the mannequin itself, it's just the lighting and all of that. Having to work with this backdrop. By the way, I can't find my cloth backdrop that I would have intended on using that would bounce light a lot less. I have this fold out bounce board, and the black side is really reflective, so I had to keep finding ways to essentially angle the backdrop so it wouldn't catch the light, so that I didn't have to do as much post-processing. I was trying to make sure to pay attention to the details, so that I'm not having to fix it in post, so to say. So yeah, there were some shots that I still wanted to try to get. I actually wanted to test out this little contraption. I may make a separate video testing this out, but essentially this is a 50mm Canon lens, like pretty much as close to a stock lens, but still providing good quality. And for a while I had these like adapters that I got from like a TV company when I was back in Troy. And I know I'm on a side tangent here. I guess this is like that brand is WKO. This is a 0.5 times wide conversion lens, which I actually was using on my 50mm for a while, because I don't have like a 24 or 35mm lens, and so I either have to shoot on my super wide 10-18 or jump all the way to 50. So it's giving me like a little more space to shoot with. And I kind of put this 2 times telephoto lens on this as a joke, but then I thought, I'm sure this is making a lot of distortion to the original image. Some of you, I'd be curious to see how this actually turned out, if it works well with the focus, and if it does anything different. So tangent aside, I didn't have the space to incorporate that yet, because the initial lens, the focal length is a little far. Let me see what it is. It doesn't show on the lens. It doesn't say what the, okay, yeah, there it is. So minimum distance is like 1.1 foot. So I don't really have, I'm not backing the camera up that far. My office space is a little cramped right now because I have just a bunch of big stuff set up just to make this film work, and I wasn't, of course I'm really tired and you go to sleep. I didn't have the ability or the time yet to pull the camera far enough to try a different focal length for some of the shots. I was checking my shot list, my mood board, which I'll probably share at some point. I'll probably share towards the end of this video. This is probably like a part 1. There's some stuff that I really wanted to get that I just don't have the time at the moment to get. I think what I'll do is just import all the footage tomorrow on my while I'm at my day job, and just kind of look and see if what I have is enough, or if I need to try to get something else a little more dramatic to work with. I saw some really old style portraits that I wanted to try to emulate. I couldn't really get those particularly, but I did try other things that weren't on my mood board, so hopefully I have enough to compensate that. I think it's always fun to do something to do something out of your comfort zone, do something a little fun, a little exciting. I still act like my 20-year-old self, trying to stay up late and do fun stuff or whatever. In this case, shooting a short film in my office at 1 in the morning is kind of fun. But I'm gonna go to sleep, and this might just be the end of this video, and I'll finish up this film project in a different video. Till then, deuces. Good night.